So I've been really into like reworking old clothing pieces I have. This one example, and it came out so good and I got such positive feedback, so now I'm like obsessed with sewing, and I can't even use a sewing machine. I've just been hand sewing everything. And this is embroidery, which I kind of just guessed at, but it turned out good.
Oh yeah. Woo! Woohoo!
So we're gonna go with it. And yeah, I got positive feedback on Depop, so now I'm gonna like make another one that's like slightly different, and that way there'll be options, you know, for what anyone's like style is. Super cute, size large. The base is like an Old Navy tank top, and then I used fabric markers. I did a test on it today to see if the fabric markers would bleed. They did not, so it was successful. And now that's the other option that I'll have. That's like the burgundy tank top. It's really similar. I think this is also a size large, and it's not from Old Navy. I think it was like Fruit of the Loom or something. So this one I'm gonna do like black embroidery for the writing and maybe like some gray outline or something. There's my thread and my little stitch. So I'm working on my second Lesbo shirt. I'm doing black embroidery thread. I'm following like the lines in the ribbed part of the tank top. Okay, so after embroidering the lettering, I moved on to the black design that I did with the fabric markers. And last time I did that part, I waited like a full 48 hours, maybe longer, for it to dry before hand washing it. And I didn't experience any issues with like running or smudging or anything. But this time around, I was just too excited, and I waited like probably less than 24 hours for the tank top to dry, and then I hand washed it. And so that's why there is like some smudging and smearing around the black bits, but I discounted this top like heavily because of that, and I like explained all that in the description. So yeah, I think I ended up charging like $8 for this. So my mistake was someone else's good deal. And it still came out cute. Like, it's honestly not that noticeable. Anyways, it sold. Haha.
Woo! Woohoo! Oh yeah.
Here I am practicing. I just got an old t-shirt, and that's what I'm embroidering on. I also finally got an embroidery loop, so that's an upgrade. It's my first attempt at a kitty cat, and I think I'm about to give in an YouTube tutorial how to do different stitches, because this is the only one that I know. Progress, 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 it's Here's where I had a bit of a learning curve. I have always wanted to make a shirt that said this. And so the fabric I used was just an old t-shirt because, I don't know, I honestly don't know much about embroidery and I thought it would be fine. But it's just too stretchy of a material, and I felt like the knot of my embroidery thread kept getting stuck. And then one time it got stuck so bad that it like ripped the fabric that I was using. I guess it's not only that it's too stretchy, but it's too thin. This kind of t-shirt, you know, like I gotta use more like the fabric that I used for the tank tops, or like a jean denim fabric, you know? So we live and we learn, but enjoy this long time lapse of me thinking I was really onto something, and then trying to fix the knot, and then having to start completely over. But then you can see I did start over, and this time instead I'm stitching over some jeggings that I cut up. So it's like a denim material, and it is stretchy, but that's okay. And then I'm also doing a back stitch as well, which I learned from the YouTube video I just showed you guys. And yeah, now I can't stop back stitching. Okay, so my takeaway is that it's okay if the fabric is stretchy as long as it's thick enough. I cut this out into a square, and then I ended up sewing this onto a tote bag. I'll insert a picture of this here. But yeah, this is posted for sale on my Depop right now. But honestly, I'm using it, so I don't know. It's kind of just mine, so sorry about that. Teeny tiny 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 little embroidery loom. Teeny tiny 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 little letters. tiny stitch. Other part of the tiny, teeny, tiny loom. With the teeny, tiny, with my teeny, tiny. I stitched this with my teeny, tiny pinkies. I can only use my pinkies. Because I'm just a teeny, tiny girl. My tiny loom broke. I just freaking got this from flippin' Goodwill. And it's made in Taiwan. But look, I just picked it up and this came out. So I'm just gonna tape it now. Also, look at these cute scissor holders my grandma gave to me. And she gave me the scissors. Okay, this is the inspiration for the embroidery piece I'm about to make. Now I gotta pick out my colors. She's embroidering. She's embroidering. Embroidery, embroidery, embroidery. To be honest, these are the straightest lines I've ever stitched in my life. And this was good practice backstitching. I just left this as a patch along with any of the other ones you saw me do on denim. I have to get more like blank basic stuff so that I can sew these onto things, but for now these are just sitting in my house. And last but not least, we have a star. He's not perfect, but he's happy, and that's what matters most. I honestly just added the smile at the very end because I was feeling really like, oh my gosh, I just spent all this time stitching a star and he looks so crooked. I don't know what I expected because I didn't use any kind of like guide or like outline. I just like went for it because I just like, I don't know, I have some confidence. Maybe too much sometimes. But he's happy. And I sent this to my best friend and she was like, "Oh my god, I would totally wear that." So, yeah, it's someone's cup of tea. Anyway, that's everything that I've made so far. In my embroidery journey, I'm just a beginner and I'm honestly mostly guessing, so maybe don't take any of my advice. Um, or do. It's really up to you. But yeah, thanks for watching. Bye. Bye from Elmer and Harmless and Soup too. They all contributed to this video, but they gave their consent, so I'm not like a mommy vlogger or anything weird, I promise.